Okay, hi everybody. Today we're having a chat with Ivan Tiller. So we're gonna be just chatting around about whatever comes around about the changes of the world that we're in right now, on all the levels of all the timelines that we're facing as we speak. And a little background information of Ivan is website links and all of those things are at the bottom of the video. So Ivan Teller, for those who don't know, has been channeling aliens and angels since March 2015, although I think it's much longer than that, but officially.
Probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So welcome, Ivan. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. So basically, I've got a few thoughts that I'm going to share with you, and just basically bounce off ideas, whatever comes to us. So it's completely relaxed. So we haven't made any preparations as such. I've just made some thoughts on things.
Yeah.
So basically, it's about changes that we've been going through in this reality. Uh, what would you say, knowing what you know now? What do you think? In terms of in terms of timelines, um, how does that affect the global collective people? What would you say? What's your first thought that comes to you about it?
But what? Yeah, what we're going through currently, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
that
all
we're getting kicked. Yeah, it feels like we're getting kicked out of the physical dimension. I mean, is this? It's like being pried out of us slowly, but it's like I'm surprised there's not more of a breakdown. But I guess it has to happen gradually. But there's
yeah,
more on the way. But we just have to see where it goes.
yeah.
You know, so
I actually think this breakdown thing you're talking about, I think has been happening since this age started. I think that we've
yeah.
been dealing with
Well,
preparing ourselves to accommodate ourselves into another age. I've had personal experiences of being shown that in dreams and things. So I think that what you've been doing in your recent work um, represents that. Um, what do you think?
yeah, I get. As you said that, it felt 2008
Yep.
as we had the financial crash.
Yeah.
That was like one reset. Now we're going through another reset. I mean, it's better than just having war and tanks and all that fire. I mean, you could have had that instead.
Yeah. This is true.
That was, I think it was on the one option. People get stuck in their old ways, so they have to. Things like this have to happen just the way it is for any change to happen. They'll just stay like we'll be in the 1950s. So that was the
Yeah.
the people just don't want to evolve. Really, they don't. What for? If everything they got everything they need,
Yeah.
what's the point?
It's
So
interesting you talk about the financial crisis in 28. Um,
that's it.
I actually think it's quite a pivotal point because of
Mm-hmm.
the Phoenicians or the okay, I'm jumping like right far ahead of all my stuff because I want to bring those people in. But I think that like you have also found that there's a lot of uh, rather the system implodes in a financial way instead of having it in a physical war-like state because I think um, uh, it's based on the commerce of the planet. Uh, those
It's
who
true.
started up the commerce in the first place.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah,
what I was going to try and say.
yeah. And this is breaking that down
Yeah,
for no
yeah,
more commerce, at least through war. So we're pulling out gosh, Somalia,
yeah.
which is U.S. I just saw that. That sort of ranged in quite a bit
That's
when I
interesting.
saw it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, and The church Notre Dame burned last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Around April, and now
Yeah.
here we are. And even I think it was last night. I just saw it right before it came on about New York, a New York church, from
Okay.
120 years old, just
Wow,
caught on fire. So yeah,
that
so
is crazy. I've been seeing some old some footage on old Masonic buildings also taking damage. So it's quite interesting that there's quite a lot of fire coming in as well. I tend to look at things on a metaphysical level, just like you. So, do you think that this is kind of like, do you think that we're going towards some sort of deconstruction, as in an actual deconstruction that's taking place with all of those things that have been taking place? I mean, we've
yeah.
had
Well,
Atlantis
yeah,
fall,
yeah.
the fall of Atlantis. Yeah, sorry, Ivan.
That's right. Yeah, just
So,
well, yeah. It's like what I see. Of course, I don't know the timing of it. Of yeah, governments. When you let's focus on the U.S. government.
hmm,
Yeah, changing its ways somehow, some way, where it's not the same as it is today. But when, of course, when I started channeling, I did see maybe a couple years into it, I did see like where things have really changed. There has to be a mass exodus
yeah,
of people, and we're kind of going through that right now.
yeah.
So,
That
so
actually makes sense because someone sent me some information on exactly this material that we've been talking about and discussing prior to the video that we're doing today. Um, I think we've always been researching that particular subject. So, what particularly stood out for me in your work is you're touching on the Lyrans, you're touching on the Hyperboreans, you're touching on each and every, you're touching on the Atlanteans, you've been touching on each race, right? So if I look collectively at them, uh, this other material that I received brings in Polarians. I've written them down. They're called Polarians, Hyperboreans, Lemurians, Atlanteans, and Aryans. These are the root races. There are five of them that this system exists out of.
mhm.
Um, and each and every one of them have had some sort of element destruction, like earth, air, fire, water, right? Okay, we're going
Yeah,
on the same. Yep, I know. I can
yeah,
feel that you're good.
yeah,
So, um, basically, this is where we are in that process. I think so. That mass exodus thing that you're talking about, it corresponds with that information because we are actually reaching the end of an aeon, based on um, the Jupiter and Saturn alignment that's coming in.
hmm
Well, yeah. When
yeah,
those two planets are in alignment, that's just a bit of my background from what I know. Um, Saturn represents spirituality in unbridled spirituality, and Jupiter is one that enforces rules and material. So, this whole situation that we're dealing with now, with this um, vaccinations and the pandemic drama stories, uh, I think it's just all smokescreen. I don't say
yeah,
it doesn't exist, but I think it's all smokescreen.
yeah, yeah. The restrictions are
It's weird.
kind of harsh. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's like
California, well, even like where you're at too, there's a lot
yeah,
of, well, like Australia, that's like locked down forever right now,
yeah.
unfortunately. There's like, but California, there's something else behind it. Of course, it's keeping Disney closed, which is like a Babylonian entertainment
Yeah.
manipulation. And that's been closed for pretty much going to be a year from it. So that says something. So I think there are positive forces also in work. So, just,
You've been there. you've done footage on that place.
Yeah, and well, yeah, here in Florida, but same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And every time, whenever you go there, and I encourage our viewers to actually go and look through your videos because you'll actually pick up on a lot of, there's like a fuzz sort of energy that you pick up when you look at when you're doing your work. That you can feel there's a lot of energy there with regards to that particular stretch of town or whatever or city
Yeah.
in California. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You,
Yeah. Well, I'm here in Orlando, but it's still connected to California too. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it still
So,
has a, you know, it's a, yeah, it's,
so California really is Caliph, Ornia,
it's like,
Caliph,
well,
Caliph.
it's like its own country,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. Its
Yeah.
origin is pretty
Mm-hmm.
pretty mysterious because I've
Yes.
actually seen well, I've done some research on California when the fires happened. Are they still
Mm-hmm.
going? The fires?
That's the thing, I haven't heard anything. I
Ah,
think they're just doing this is fire season, and I don't think there's that. I have to look it up. Never really thought about it. That's kind
ah,
of interesting. Yeah, for the fires, yes, to bring in the new energies, burn all the old out. Yeah,
yeah.
so we
The
had that a
rituals.
couple years ago. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and this year, and yeah, so yeah,
And then speaking of fires, sorry, I'm jumping around with you.
yeah, it's
Uh,
okay.
please feel free to chip in whenever you feel like it. Um, the fires in Australia, same thing,
Yeah,
same weird.
yep. That was before the lockdown. Yeah, Amazon was on fire,
Yeah,
and then Australia, and now here we are.
yeah, bizarre.
So,
We also had a spout of fires being actually
mhm.
actively made. Seeing them go and they burn the farms actively. They're going there and they burn
Yeah,
the farms. It's the same. It's like weird. So there's some rituals happening, obviously,
yeah, yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, it's kind of
definitely.
obvious if you really know how to look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like California, the past couple of years, yeah, they've had. I know that a couple of years ago they had a huge, they burned down Paradise that was in California. Just like people that say it was lasers and all that, which wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
and now
So
here we are.
coming back to the root races, do you think I'm just going here on my sense of that I'm feeling? Do you think that we are entering an age where there is an expansion taking place, which is potentially or has the potential to radically override the current agenda? Just
Yeah, little by little. Yeah, it's doing it now. It's going slowly because people would probably go insane if things happen quickly. But yeah, it's like this type of the metaphysics isn't really taken that seriously.
yeah,
Well, it is, but there's still a lot to understand. There's mainstream spirituality that's has an agenda,
yeah,
and that's where many people. It's like mainstream church, basically, or religion. It's no different.
mm,
So that's going to be interesting. Where that, you know, that's where it comes in. If the aliens do appear here,
yes, yeah.
I mean, some of them be mainstream aliens with their
I've seen
manipulating
those.
society.
Yeah, there's lots of them. They're all actors. Well, that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's like we're just going to have the same thing over again. It just has the aliens are here to help us, but there's few of them, and the big star aliens be walking around all superstars, and
Yeah.
people be
Oh
crowded
gosh.
around them, and just same thing over again. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what it seems like where it's going
It
at this
does feel
point.
like it though, hey? It feels like you're coming sort of at the that we're entering the last drizzle, isn't the
Yeah,
right word of the or the last drips and drabs of the last like
yeah,
overlapping into it's when you're going into a shopping center or whatever and you're like the last people in the store and you're leaving and it's like they're trailing out. Like I think that's where we are. It's what it feels
That's
like.
what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the end of like the world wars,
Mm.
it's all. I mean, they had that Iran. They had that. Yeah, I think you probably heard about that. Like someone, like some of their officials are assassinated over there. But
Yes, I believe so. I've heard some
like,
of that. Yeah.
I think Iran's the feeling I get. Yeah, it's not the villain as they're made out to
Yeah.
be.
I always thought that.
Yeah, I don't think that they're just they're a root race that's very hidden or there's
Yeah.
another there's just there's a they have knowledge there that hasn't been if they have knowledge to bring out they can help society. Of course the beings that are running our our system doesn't want them to
Yeah.
show. So I don't know, just
I think that there's so many of them. So here's my theory, right? I think that there's a particular race. When I mention Phoenicians, I'm gonna pin the donkey with that. Okay. Because I've done a lot of research on this, I'm going with putting it all together in my thoughts now, sharing it with you. That I think that the Phoenicians interfered with dates of their reign. I think that they interfered with infiltrating all the races that they could with their business, commerce, right?
yeah.
And so I think they're seeing their backsides now because the
Yeah.
races are questioning their own individuality, their identity,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. As well, I felt I can see that with Venetians. I mean, they're just connected to Europe, and they're connected to all kinds of Venice.
Yeah, funny that you bring it
It's
up.
like,
Yes, the Pope,
yeah,
Jesuits.
yeah. But I've been connected to a lot of Martian energies, but it felt like Mars was necessity because the feminine. I think you mentioned this. The feminine, at least in Atlantean time, got kind of toxic, like
Yeah,
just overpowered. Which and this the Martian came in. Of course, they weren't perfect either, but they kind
yeah,
of balanced it out.
yeah,
So,
100%. Yes, exactly. And this is what we've been
so
dealing with all the time, irrespective whether we're dealing with whatever race or whoever is what. And it's the masculine and the feminine and their fights and the third
just like
party.
a war zone,
Yeah,
pretty
it's like a
much.
bad marriage. It's
Just,
good.
but yeah, it's like all these races. Yeah, they want control over this place, basically.
They do. I mean, think about it. If you were being fed a belief system that you're the only son of God,
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter which God, but it could be any God, then and you have dominion over the paradise. And like I said, this story is not necessarily tied into religion, but it could also
yeah,
be tied into every aspect of every type of belief. So then, what the hell?
yeah.
Obviously you're going to
So
try and claim it all. Ego.
yeah, it also feels, of course, all these alien beings that you don't see, but
Mm.
they do want to be seen as God.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, you know,
There was a grey that channeled to Aleister Crowley. It called itself Lamb, Lam, Lam, right? And in Afrikaans, in my language, lamb is a baby sheep, lamb, and it's so. And he even made a drawing of the grey with this big head. It's crazy. So yeah,
yeah, rays are really strange. I can't get a straight answer from them. I mean,
oh
I
never.
believe they're part of our reality. They're very because if you see anything, it's always a gray. It's always you don't see a feline half man half feline
No.
anywhere. But grays seem to pop out every once in a while.
Mm.
You'll see something. There's a couple. I think it was a year ago, maybe a year. There's a security camera on someone's house, and I have it on my Vimeo channel actually. You can see a little gray just walking through the
Oh
parking lot.
shit! I didn't see
It,
that.
Sunday,
Oh
it looks like a
yeah.
kid. It doesn't look like a kid. It looks like a kid. It's not a kid.
Seriously, oh my god! You better
Yeah,
send it to me.
just walks. Yeah. So that was the last one I've seen of and there was one that was an interview. It was in Arizona. This guy was by all these alien bases. It was like the Zeta Ranch where he's
Right?
fighting. He said he was fighting Zetas, and he was doing an interview, and behind him, a gray did like peek out of the. So you can tell it was a gray. It peeked out of the corner right
Oh my
behind him.
God.
It was a live recording, so it wasn't edited or anything. So every once in a while they pop up here and there, but that's about.
But
So
they are
yeah, I guess
so, I don't trust them. I mean, I've
yeah,
had some that connected with me that were, it's like, I suppose people,
yeah,
you get good people and bad people, I suppose, of any type of.
yeah. That's I trust them and I don't trust them. Yeah, I like them
Yeah,
or I don't like them. It's like yeah, it's but I feel they're very involved with their reality. They're just keeping it all
yeah.
secret. So
So so Syrians, where do you fit them in with this? With
I've
this,
been getting it. Well, here, yeah, I was going to mention this. So I was going to run this by actually.
right?
So I was going to connect to the Warrens, the felines, but just got some weird. Talked about in my videos in the beginning. It's like I want to channel the Warrens, but man, I'm just not getting a good feeling from these guys,
Yeah,
from the felines. Not to say they're all
yeah, yeah,
something's wrong with all of them. It's just I don't know. As I was trying to channel, literally in the channeling, I was trying to bring in a feline Weirin, and just the Syrian came in instead, like a blue feline tiger or
yeah,
whatever it might be,
yeah.
and that was a better energy than what I was
Then
feeling
the
from the Weirins.
So interesting you bring that up because I've noticed the same thing. It's like they've lost their heart. It's like they've lost their heart or they've become depressed. That's what it feels like to me from them.
Yeah.
Or they just
So,
don't give a damn. I think the word I don't give a shit is more like that's what I picked up from them.
well, yeah, I give you. Well, yeah. So I'm getting some of them are like I believe like maybe more positive ones are difficult to. There's just a lot of stress there.
Very much so.
There's some that are part of our genetic makeup,
Yeah.
and some of them are kind of still it seems like snobbish about it
Mm,
from what I'm getting. Not all of them, but
yeah.
and some are scared maybe to say anything. It's so bizarre. It's just and I also felt, and I just left it open. I did a private channel. I'll
Mm,
upload it eventually, but
mm,
I felt that a feline and a reptilian mix hybrid, which is
yeah.
like insane, basically. Well, some of them are.
Interesting.
But it felt like it was some of them caused the downfall of Atlantis too, from like a feel. Like they were friends with them and went against them.
It's
And
interesting
it came back.
you
Yeah.
bring that up because I've actually had uh, my feeling tells me that the Lyrans are basically it's like they're handing over their it's like they're handing over. It's almost like they're deciding to sort of end themselves, end the reign or
Yeah.
end their involvement. It's what
Yeah.
it felt like to me.
Yeah, involvement with us or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
something. So
it's almost like
yeah,
they're yeah. But
no,
in terms of that hybrid, I've had some experience with that information before myself personally.
no.
Um, we can connect about that sometime. But
Yeah, it seemed pretty like a super soldier type of being. That's what
okay,
I got. Some of them can be mutated, strange, or really ugly things, or some can be whatever, all kinds. Or the human, like we'll have the reptilian that looks like a feline, or a feline that looks like a reptilian, or
mm,
whatever. Either way, it's like more. But then you'll have the human version, like us, of
mm.
reptilian and feline. It's
It's actually
so
quite interesting because there's definitely an interference with particularly races like that. Particularly when the Lyrants originally, I know that they trust. They used to all trust very naively,
yeah,
without
paradigm.
question. And when the trust is broken, screw you. That's how they are. So then they start their little they send others to come and collect them, or they collect the DNA or whatever, and then this is what happens, right?
Yeah, well, like the domestic cats.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like those are more serious. They might come from other places too, but
Mm.
predominantly is serious. Like, well, basically, a little cat alien basically walk on 2 feet. So they just brought it, just ours are a little bit different, of course, on 4 legs, but I
Yeah.
get more of a serious, just helping us through as we are we're going through all this. Somebody needs to help us out. So,
It does.
you
It does feel like there is a lot of help coming around or going around. I mean, it's just a matter of surely people also should take in consideration that in, like you, for example, or people, the work that we do, that if you extend assistance, then it means that the person who's requesting the assistance must also do some action to get to that point, right? And I think the extraterrestrial people have chosen to step back a bit because seriously, humans need to work a little harder. Do you think?
know. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I don't know how that's gonna. I mean, I feel like Syrians are helping.
Yeah.
Warrens are, yeah, I guess they step back. I mean, some are involved, but it's a mystery. It's like the Greys almost. They don't want you to really know what they're up to
Yeah.
on those lines. But like almost like they're part of our downfall. Energy I get from
Interesting. Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I was thinking of that. Um,
Sure,
so
you can have those humans. We're not going to protect them. They're all yours. It's
yeah,
like,
the most interesting thing is I think we're all in it together. I think aside from just because we can't see them doesn't mean that they're gods. And
yeah,
so that little story I think took its ending or is busy ending as we speak. I think it's what it feels like to me. I think everybody's preparing in some way to deal with the chaos that's actually um, creating its own demise. I think this is where we're going. This is what I feel.
yeah. You wonder where this is all going to get more.
Mm.
Society will take it more seriously.
Yeah,
Or like, it's been, of course, this type of work, metaphysics has been around forever, but
yeah,
it has hit mainstream to a certain degree, but when's it going to really be taken more seriously? I think we're warming up to it.
yeah,
It just when like a celebrity will get into it or something will, bring the charge. Just we're in that level right now.
yeah,
So we're kind of running out of stuff anyway. Everything's breaking down. It's
yeah.
like religion's been breaking down for a while,
Mm,
because all the pedophile stuff has been coming
mm,
out. So that's been, but when this, of course, not to say the metaphysical, spiritual, that's a whole nother complicated, how that
yeah,
goes.
it's very complex. I
It
know.
gets, but yeah, we can't do other version. Basically, yeah, what I've been getting is just like individually, just figure out what reality works for you. What is it? What's your version of Earth? What's your past where humans come together? Because no one's going to be exactly the same. It's
Mm,
always going to be different. It's just, at least that's what I get from it.
please go ahead.
Well, I felt, yeah, I'd say I got energy. Of course, those that took over the planet,
Yeah.
obviously destroyed all the Atlantean. I mean, all those beings left, but they're going to leave. I feel like they're going to leave their technologies here and keep it in the background. But some beings that want to control us just said, no, we're going to get rid of all that stuff. Screw you guys. We're just going to, we want control. We want humans under our belt. So we don't
Yeah.
want them to. We'll have what they want us to have. So,
Yeah. So do you think then takes me to the next thing that I was thinking about sharing with you is um I know this is like an old gramophone here, but Metatron,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
the AI element that these people are pushing, do you think and I feel very strongly what I've picked up is that they're trying to bring in a messiah that's artificial,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Which goes into digital currency, you can say.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's digital, digitize everything.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
So they're wanting people. They may. So they may perhaps also at some point deliberately also allow the discovery of pedophilia to take place, so that the natural belief in religion as its original faith might prove to be a fail, so that they can present something that's immaculate, um, an AI Christ or an AI Messiah. I think that's what they're trying to create. I think all this drama, this pandemania,
Yeah.
it's just like I said, a smokescreen for back in the ranch creating a little thing there, right? That's
Well,
what I think.
I've heard of like the secret government having like a AI,
Okay.
like a mothership AI, or a like a supercomputer.
Yeah.
Uh, I believe it's gonna quantum computing most likely it's connected to. So I mean, we have that, Siri and
Mm.
the Amazon talking,
Mm.
our phones talk to us now. And I turn all that stuff off. Just,
I actually leave my phone outside of my wherever if I yeah, I don't it's not in my bedroom, it's not yeah,
yeah,
it's
I don't know how they would. Yeah, AI missile. I can see them doing that. I don't know how they would do it, but
but if they sell the idea is what I'm thinking. If they sell that thought, if they keep on bringing in, I
well,
mean, there's this new game.
yeah.
It's a digital game. It's a PC game or whatever you want to call it, video game
Hmm.
called
Hmm.
Cyberpunk, which
Hmm.
demonstrates a transhumanist, um, uh, like a story saying they throw in a lot of nudity. They are showing the female uh, form as completely nude, so that
Hmm.
when you play as the character, that your interaction with it has to be that you have to decide to see it, to dehumanize it, so it becomes just the end part as just uh, body parts, or it's dehumanized. So what I'm trying to say is I think that there's a sense of, I'm not going down any rabbit holes, but I'm just going sort of, I'm surfing on the on the edge of it,
Yeah.
is that they're trying to sell an idea that if there's enough people to believe it, to be vulnerable in that belief, that that idea could take root, but even in just mind, because we know that everything starts in the mind, right?
Hmm.
First, before it becomes matter. I think they're trying to use our creative powers to create something like that.
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, like a Messiah, or a digital Jesus, or
Yeah.
jeez. I can, yeah, Jesus comes back as a computer or AI, which I can see that. Never thought about that.
Well, that's just what I was thinking. That was coming to me actually.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
mean,
pondering on
anything.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were talking about Orion,
Yes.
and I've been seeing like the squid. Um, that's
Yeah.
what is, the one of the villains in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I'm
right.
talking about
Right.
them.
Right. Yes. I know
The
exactly what you're
I
talking
can't
about.
remember it. The squid. There's only one squid bad guy, but he's
What was his name? Can you even remember? I remember. I could see his face.
yeah, I can see his face. Maybe if you don't see his name, it might show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, this sense, like now squid can be very positive too. And someone mentioned about humans having a squid brain at one time,
Hmm.
which you see that it's like that's a real active brain. That's a brain that's really connected.
Yeah.
When you think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, I did, yeah, that was that's why somebody said that in the webinar a while back, which is
That's interesting. I find it interesting. I'm pondering on it for a second. Yeah.
yeah, that's
So you
it's,
actually connected with the life, the animal life.
I felt squid. Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
um, octopus.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. See, of course, that goes back to Syria. Like you said, it came from Orion, went to Sirius, and came here as an octopus presence. The, I mean, James Bond has that. One of the recent movies, the squid is part of the specter. That's a secret
Yes.
society.
Yeah.
So little things here and there, the
I can
squid
see
is
that. It's also reminded me of the if it's a there was a movie that I saw where they were trying to export. Geez, I can't even remember its name, but anyway, it was something. It wasn't even an amazing thing, but they took animals from a particular place and they exported these animals on a UF on an alien ship back up
oh
to another
wow.
planet, right? And it was a
I don't know
giant
about
squid.
that.
It was on Netflix. Oh my God.
Oh, the giant squid.
Netflix. Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is
Netta.
well, yeah. I haven't said this, because they had that show Cuties. I think Netflix has to show their true
Oh
colors.
God. Jeez.
Yeah, but they have to be in their position. They have to show who's controlling them.
Right. You see what I
So
mean? So they're deliberately showing their hand a little bit to show, okay, we've got vetoes. What are you going to do about it?
yeah, it's normal. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the normalcy of it.
yeah. And we've got these guys in that church and that, blah, 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 blah. And someone high
Yeah,
up there and a banker here and there. And they've all done it. And
yeah,
then
even
you
the
start
yeah.
losing your faith because you were having faith, right? That's
Well, Netflix is kind of religion for people right now. So it's like a seems to be. But even the founder of Netflix, you get this vibe like elitist. I mean,
yeah,
of course, he starts off normal, but he creates this kind of shady
yeah.
software company. Somehow becomes a billionaire,
Of
billion
course,
dollar
yes, just
company.
overnight, boom.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, and then he sells it, and then you can we just came up with this video platform. It's like it's like
It's
you
just
know
it's just too excuse me, it's just too out there in your face the
yeah,
way that they do it. It's just so blatant. There's the right word, blatant.
yeah, and yeah, these companies for a while back, I was kind of watching some of them. They buy these other companies. Like somebody just starts a company just like that. All of a sudden, it's a billion-dollar
Yeah,
company just like that. And then,
yeah.
like Apple bought Siri from someone. It feels like it's all we just buying each other. They're just all create these companies. All of a sudden, it's a billion-dollar company, and they buy it. You know,
Well, that's why
so
I brought in the Phoenicians because apparently, well, according
yeah,
to history, if you dig really deep, even the word Phoenicians, Phoe, is phony. Uh, the Phoenicians have started they were the first race that were known for commerce, buying
oh
and
geez,
selling cloth and
yeah,
stuff. So seriously, and those monoliths everywhere in the bloody world, it's everywhere. It's their
yeah,
little signature. They've even corrupted Egypt's original
yeah,
spiritual, you know, course, their
yeah,
beliefs.
yeah,
So they are so the reason I'm bringing it up and I'm going at it every time is because it now ties into what I've been shown or what I've had an experience with coming up with Minerva, the goddess of Jupiter, the daughter of Jupiter and Juno,
mm-hmm,
Minerva,
mm-hmm,
the goddess,
mm-hmm.
uh, related to an owl. So the Bohemian Club, the Phoenicians have brought that belief that is their thing. So it's interesting. We're busy. We're actually busy breaking all of this down. And I think that it's come to a point, really.
Yeah,
It's my thoughts.
yeah. It's well, it was Las Vegas has the pyramids, has Luxor, has a big artificial pyramid it made for. That also has a Venetian
Mm.
that's connected to Italy. It's all commerce. Of course,
Phoenix.
all Las Vegas.
Yeah,
The Las Vegas kind of puts stuff in our face,
yeah.
kind of puts it all together.
It
Think
does,
about it.
yeah. It does.
Who's going to pay attention to that? Oh, what's that weird? That's strange having a pyramid in Vegas. Oh, that's cool, or is it? Is that a
Yeah.
good
Oh,
thing, or
that's nice.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about. Yeah, it's just gambling and all. That's that's all. You go there to spend money. You spend money so you can lose your money or maybe get like the elites. They make money for themselves, but
Mm.
they just put that illusion that you can. Some people do get rich, but most people don't probably. So let's see. Well, yeah, I've been seeing. I'm going through all the cats recently. I'm sort of headed to like a Jupiter cat yesterday.
Serious.
Yeah, but yeah. So before I could do a video, I just sort of
That's
grab
weird.
the energies. Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
just grab the energies and just. I felt a Jupiter cat is like sure, let's go with that. It's like so yeah, just leave it all open. So
wait a minute now. The Jupiter cat. Tell me about it.
just
I mean,
I mean I channeled it yesterday. I can't
yeah,
remember everything it said or
yeah,
anything. But I was saying that yeah, some people that are in the mainstream spirituality, some of them are worshiping aliens.
yeah, yeah.
You can
Yes,
even hear that even when they're talking, you can kind of tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So that's part of it. I think I'm getting closer to some kind of yeah. I'm getting different connections I've had through the cats, which is interesting. Through mostly Sirius, of course, I connected to Anunnaki. Anunnaki with Anki, I've run this by you um, about like people said Anunnaki or humans are in there. Well, we look just like them, but maybe I think my feeling it feels like it's more like the Saudis.
Yeah,
It's like the Anunnaki's in this. The Saudis are in their likeness.
yeah. Yes.
That's what.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. Akkadian, Saudi,
Yeah,
Iranian
yeah,
type of features. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very
yeah.
much so. I
That's
agree.
yeah. There's different races they created for evolve with the rest of the humanity. It's not everybody's under
Yeah,
Anunnaki look. I don't feel that. They might have copied each other some way, but
yeah.
they're always copying each other. But,
So something interesting about what you've just brought up with the animals. There is a word that also came to mind, and I actually had to look it up because it's really difficult. The word is extensionism. And extensionism means when you are connecting with everything that you are existing in. So, for example, on the earth, on the world, in this plane, you're connecting to the trees and the animals, the insects, everything in around your surrounding as if it
yeah,
is a an an individual consciousness.
yeah,
And that is what you do. This is you. That's your gift to be able to connect with all of these things, these elements. So I am actually feeling very strongly that this particular form of work that you're going into now with the animals,
yeah,
that you may be able to create some sort of frequency that will root into this reality more, so that there's more an awareness for people to become aware of the tree as an individual consciousness and all of those things. This has got nothing to do with being a vegetarian or this or none
yeah,
of that. It's just got
yeah,
everything to do with um, everything has consciousness. I think the more you're doing your work, the more you're creating a frequency that's busy unfolding here,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is contributing to everybody else's frequencies that are trying to clear up or and deconstruct the actual calamity that we're in, which perhaps
Yeah.
may not be a bad idea because it's also creating a bit of pressure on everyone to actually start to, own
Yeah.
up their own,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is all about. People, humans taking more responsibility for their galactic selves instead of looking the other way. So
Yeah,
where this goes, yeah, connected to multiple realities. I feel like for a society or versions of Earth where they are always looking for other versions of Earth
yeah,
in their minds, of course,
yes.
but in there, and that's we're kind of doing that through movies and stuff. So yeah, so
So
figuring
now,
things out.
what I was thinking was, is there anything that you want to share with the people that you feel for people to take with them so that they can go forward into their journey with just a little bit extra um, advice, perhaps?
Yeah, not be afraid of. You keep an open mind. Some that are spiritual teachers are very, they're very restrictive of information. Like it's their way to the highway,
Mm,
and that's the way it should. I think it should all be open.
yeah,
So that's a summer warning. I don't know where that's going with. Yeah, just the more you keep things open, the easier it is to get information. So just it's not easy keeping the mind open. That's for sure. So,
okay.
so
Well, that's good. And the work that you're doing is very, very special. So protect yourselves, everyone, and you as well. Protect yourself and clear yourself. Very important. It's like having a bath after you've been in the garden.
yeah, just sleep if you can, rest. Another way of
Yeah,
that's one way. Or go crazy, whatever comes first.
yeah. Or just roll in the dirt in your bed.
Go outside and scream for a while. Whatever works for you. But yeah, try not to hurt anybody. But yeah, just because this stuff the astral gets so heavy, as you know, it's
Mm.
so intense.
So in terms of the astral, where we are in terms of that, in terms of the astral, it is getting heavier. I
Yeah,
think we're breaching through it instead of it landing on us. I think we are breaching through it, piercing through. That's what it feels like, or piercing, piercing through.
major
Uh,
transition.
yeah.
So
Thank you very much for
thank you.
this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate. Yeah, definitely. We should do this again. This was awesome.
Yes, yeah, sure.